live. Boy, that was problematic to say the least. Wasn't able to use the Streamlabs app. Um, so live. Yeah. So now we have a delayed here. Now we got to go back and share it to Facebook again. Um, I tried to basically um, share this to um, everywhere, and of course the link failed me. So I'm not sure what is going on. I just know it's frustrating to get this, thing to go, and it's a process. That's all I'll say. It's a process. Now I'm gonna go and delete. I guess I posted to Twitter too, and Twitter. I've got to go. Can you delete your Twitters? Your, your tweets? Yeah, I guess I might have to. Not that I have any followers, but yes, if I go over here and it says, there's the YouTube link, waiting for dismiss. Yeah. Let's go back and hit done and hit edit. Delete tweet. Yeah, delete. I'm so bummed out about this because I just want to make this easy for everybody. I'm not trying to make life hard, and I'm not trying to make it hard for me, but man, this is definitely a learning curve. All right. Oh, and then it wants me to sign into Twitter. This is stupid. Stupid. So yeah, let me just do a quick tweet, and then we're going to get going here if I can get this going. Paste. And tweet. All right, so there we go. A tweet with no link. I'm not going to mess with this. I mean, it's just... maybe I'll take a break and I'll post the tweets. But anyways, I hope you guys are on and the light is looking good. Let me go back over to YouTube and take a look. And let's see here. So the one thing that's kind of a bummer about this is the fact that this isn't in high definition like before. YouTube, when you stream directly through their app, they dumb it down to 720. Whereas before, when I was using Streamlabs, I had the ability to stream at a higher frame rate. And I can tell you now that the image, I gotta adjust this to see if I can make this work and fit in a little bit better, because what I see on the phone framing wise and what I see on the actual feed is different. So, which is frustrating. So yeah, that's that. So I'm gonna chug some coffee here. So if you were hanging out with me yesterday, if you're hanging out with me yesterday, and we got to talk about some cool stuff, and we talked about books and music videos, and we saw the I think we talked a little bit about let's see here, was it the Washington Commanders? The football team had changed their name, and it's interesting because now the president, Dan Snyder, is in hot water, so to speak. So I tell you, I'm glad I'm not someone of that notoriety, because anytime there's news that comes out, it just seems to be bodes well for bad for you. Anybody who doesn't like you, or has a beef, yeah, it is. And they never seem to come out when, how do you say? They never seem to come out when everything is chill and nobody's talking. But when you're in the news and then suddenly people come forward, I don't know if this is coincidence. I don't know. But it's interesting to say the least. But I don't know anything other than he's in hot water, so I'm not taking sides. I don't know enough to really comment other than that he's in the news, and it's not good. So that said, so if you had a chance to see that video, 5 Seconds to Summer, you may have seen some of the Japanese people dressing up in kind of like doo-wop and leather and jeans and stuff like that, and kind of not trying to make her doo-wop, but at the same time, I'm just trying to, you know, they really do embrace American culture, and so I think that's kind of where I'm going with this, possibly. Um, and I want to keep this fresh a little bit. I don't want to overwork it, which is not always easy to do. So we'll see how that goes there. So rough start today. More technical issues, to say the least. So let's try and tweet and see if I can get like going fixed link comma live stream painting now. Painting now. Good thing there's autocorrect, because it would have been planting now. Live stream planting now. All right, and let's see if it'll let me do the link now. Paste. Do. It's stupid that it doesn't let you do like a picture or something. Yeah, I'm just and let's see here. Photo. I don't want to take a photo. I want to access photos. Oh, so stupid. I can't seem to catch a break on this ad. All right, there we go. And tweet. All right. So I twittered my tweet, and I'm back live, and I think I got my, I also have my, what's it called? I have my live thing going here so I can see the messages. So, anywho, let's go ahead and begin. So I think I want to go ahead and start tackling a little bit about the background. I don't want to leave this white, and I'm not sure what background I want to go with. But I appreciate everybody bearing with me. Just note, if you happen to tune in, at least for this week until I get things dialed down, that hopefully you won't have to fast forward 10 minutes. I'm going to be drinking a lot of coffee tonight. I stayed up late last night, once again, troubleshooting, and yeah. So hope the light's good, and if it's not, comment, let me know. I think it's okay now. And I got the palette in here, so I think this is working out, and I don't have the glare, so I think this looks good. So I'm not sure what color I want in the background. I could go with a green, I could go with an orange, I could go with some brown. I'm not sure what, but I definitely will play around here. Definitely, I don't want tan. I think I'm gonna just keep this kind of cool, but I want to work in a little bit of the highlights of the hair. Just, pardon me, just to see if I can get some stuff going. So let's see here. So me and my students were talking about the Washington Commanders and the choice of name and how that came about, and if it's that's too bright, that's too white right there. That is not working good. Let's dumb that down. Try to impress upon them that, hey, these most of the time, these companies, when they come up with a name, there's a lot of research in there. There's test groups. They take census studies. Like consensus studies of, hey, what do you feel about this name, and whatnot. And I definitely feel like Commanders is, a masculine name. It's a sterile name at the same time. It doesn't really say, uh, doesn't have character yet. So I tell my students, I said, Paul Rand, I think it was like a good logo has the pleasure of recognition and the promise of meaning. And we were looking at this logo and I said, yeah, we're not sure about it looks, doesn't, yeah, they weren't fans of it. And, understandably. But, I think, it has potential. It's not the worst logo, I don't think, but, there's a lot of people that, hate change. And, but I think my students were, for the most part, on board with, um, the logo, as far as, the change. And they recognize that, it needed to be changed, and that, this is just a sign of moving forward, if so to speak, and hey, it's possible that, there could be changes later. You can't always, don't always have to be locked in. And so we've been going over logo design. They're designing their own logo in their class. And I've told them, I said, when you guys are designing your logo, think about it as this is just the first iteration. You've got plenty of time to change and adapt it and grow it. Hey, J90, hello. Thanks for tuning in. So yeah, it's it's one of those things where work on your logos and be flexible, be conscious that they can change. They don't have, you're not locked into it. You can evolve it. So it's been fun discussion, and we've talked a lot about branding and whatnot. And I mean, even as a painter here, and illustrator, kind of create the brand and kind of, how do you say, kind of create a, when you see my art, you kind of think of a certain style, so to speak. At least I hope you do. And, I'm still discovering that style. I like to stay flexible and not trapped into a particular genre. But, yeah, I could say that I probably could use work on my own logo, but I kind of hate, I don't want to sit there and say, I've had like an older logo from 24 years ago. Wow, has it been 24 years? Well, maybe 22. No, yeah, about 24 years ago, I had a somewhat of a logo, and I just never really created anything since, because I just wanted to be known as a painter. And I guess a painter could have a logo. But I just kind of like have found ways not to get into logos. But I might play around with it. I don't think it's necessarily as important as it would be with if I was a illustrator or a graphic designer. I think that's where a logo would definitely be more necessary. So, all right, and it looks like either I've got a, let's see here. Let's see if this is a go-to channel. So let's see here. What's going on? I've been checking with people who comment. Oh, thanks for the like. I appreciate you. So, I had some bots the other day. I mean, everybody has tag handles, so I don't know. I'm still new to this community of YouTube, so I appreciate you hanging in there and watching. So back to the logos. I don't have a logo yet. I've been toying the idea around with creating one, and I might, but I just got so many other things going on right now that, and it's not necessarily high on my list, but I think eventually, now that I'll have some summer, my summer's more free to devote towards my painting. I'm going to definitely take that in and consider that, so to speak. So I guess we'll talk a little bit about gear right now. So I am using, if we can show it right here, if I can get it to focus, I'm using a number 8 Pro Stroke Power Krill. Power Krill. I didn't even know that was a word. Power Krill Creative Mark brush and a nice little fat sable. I'm really digging it. It's a good brush, and I like it. It allows me to get a little bit of detail with not getting stuck into it too much. So I've been a little bit, man. I'm sorry about the wobble there. I need to. Wish I could hold it, but I'll try and put my hold. But I'm kind of having to wrap my hands around the camera here. I usually, when I paint, I like to attack my canvas pretty aggressively. But for this one, I think I'll just hold it as best as I can. And let's see, get some more paint in there. I'm still getting used to painting vertically. I like it. I like this whole thing here because then you guys can see what I'm doing. But at the same time, you got to worry about, thinning it down because then it drips down all over the place. But I got a cheap work table, so I'm not too concerned about it, so to speak. Not going to cry if it doesn't turn out all right. Just want to... So, let's see here. What else is going on? Made a really good, I thought, clam chowder, and came out way better than I thought in the previous ones, with the exception of could have been a little bit more chunkier. So next time, I'm going to put some chunky potatoes in there. My son doesn't like it. Kanza likes it a little bit more mashy. And so that's what I usually do, is make it mashy. But this time I'm going to put some chunks in there because I feel it needs a little bit of texture. It was really good. And I love cooking. I don't know about you guys, but once you start to cook a dish and you really master it, and you go to a place like Olive Garden and you go to eat, then it's kind of ruined. Olive Garden is ruined for you. It's not the same once you can really cook beyond what they do, and they're just ripping stuff out of a plastic bag, to be honest with you. They're not making anything adventurous. So let's go ahead and see about using the brayer here. I just want to see about getting some texture. This is a little bit hard because I've got the camera right in front of my chest here, but it's the only way I can get you guys to get a head-on view, which is what I would like if I was watching this. This is what I would like, is to kind of have my point of view versus then off to the angle, which is kind of a drag. So, all right, where is my trusty palette knife? There we go. All right, so more gear talk. I'm using the F50 Creative Mark, And I believe F50 is like almost like a universal number for the shape and style. I like this one because I can then pack it into a flat brush carrier versus some of the other ones where they kind of has like that dip and then goes out. This one packs really well, and it's pretty flexible here, so I will say that. But I've been known to snap my palette knives, so that's a thing. And so when I go onto these plein air events, I have to pack extra ones just in case I break them, because that's a thing, breaking palette knives. But I haven't broken this one, and I haven't treated it any different or been any less careful with it than the others. It's just, how do you say? I think I'm wondering if I just went through a bad batch of palette knives, because I broke like literally 3 in the span of a month and a half. But to Jerry's Artorama's credit, and Jerry's Artorama is where I get a lot of my supplies. Not all of them, but I get a lot of them. And to their credit, what was cool is they said, Doug, if you break this, just bring it back and we'll replace it. And I was like, hey, that's cool. And so, yeah, they replaced the other 2 that I broke. And then after that, I stopped having issues, so which is good. There we go, a little bit. Get some texture in here and try to lost edges here. Same thing over here. I like the Brayer because it allows me to create textures and stuff quickly and not have to, especially with the figure, because then it's like you've got these fun textures, but you know, it doesn't have to like render a complete background out. And it looks loose and fun, so that's why I like that. And then, of course, some of the other things that I'll do here, get that leg to disappear and probably disappear here. Yeah, that's working for me. Yeah. So I hope everybody's having fun. Thanks for the wait and the link fixes, because that's it sucks when the YouTube does not want to launch, where actually it was Streamlabs. So this is the issue I've had. So for those that just joining, I was using an app called Streamlabs. Today I'm not. One of the things that that drew me into Streamlabs is that it would do a higher definition stream than what YouTube would do. Hey, how's it going, Tat to Tank? So yeah, I was using Streamlabs, and tonight I'm not, and that means that the quality of this is going to be dumbed down to 720, which is not optimal for me. I was hoping that I could have gotten a little bit, for some reason Streamlabs just wasn't launching, and it wasn't playing nice with YouTube. I initially got Streamlabs so that I could stream to Facebook, I could stream to Twitch, and I could stream to, and YouTube all at once. And that I would see the conversations from everybody across the spectrum and be able to reply to it like a giant, hybrid community. That did not work out. For the most part, people who were on YouTube, I did not get to see their comments until after the session was over, which was really lame. And the thing with Facebook is that they're just, nothing's in chronological order, and if they think you're trying to sell something by putting dates, times, and locations and stuff like that, or links, they want you to get a stupid business account page, which I think is dumb. And it was, you know, it was frustrating because I just want to reach people. I just want to share the artwork, and I'm not trying to, you know, I don't want Facebook in my business, handling my business. I just want to share work, you know. So, much to my delight and prediction, Facebook suffered its first um, loss in membership. And I was like, I think this was I knew this was kind of coming. I'm not doing the told you so dance, but I am not surprised. And apparently they lost $1 billion. Uh, so like they lost a quarter of their um, value in one day, the biggest loss in value in one day. I mean, it's like a historical thing. I mean, it's like you can imagine a lot of people are selling off the stock, and you know, there's a lot of things I'm not digging about Facebook, and I think it's going to take a little bit before, you know, viewers get off of there. But then again, I think what's going to happen is we're going to splinter up like what it used to be before there were social networks and you have to go to people's websites, and I think there's going to be things like Discord and whatnot that, you know, but I don't think like the older generation is going to go to that, and I could be wrong, or it might be there may be another platform out there that they won't go to. I don't know. But I do feel that the day of reckoning for Facebook is in the future. I don't know when, but I do feel like it will go the way of in some ways MySpace. It just there's a tipping point. I think it just is going to take some time where people are just like, I've had enough. Um, and you know, I've had my beef with Facebook for a long time, but I've recognized that there's a lot of good to it as well. But um, I'll just say that for me, um, you know, and I know I'm slamming Facebook here a lot, but you know, I mean, it's just they're throttling and they're wanting you to, how do you say, they're wanting you to pay to play, and then on top of paying to play, they're then using our data and selling it. And it's like we never gave them. I guess, you know, it wasn't really a conscious decision to say, hey, take all my data and sell it and make billions of dollars. You know, where's my money? I'm the product. Zuckerberg's not the product. We are. And so, you know, I mean, everybody has their issues with all kinds of different social media. YouTube's no different. I mean, YouTube is picking who they want to throttle and who they won't. So, I just, you know, how do you say? Just trying to go the path of the least resistance and feel good about it. And so I like the idea that, you know, you can follow my stuff in chronological order. So, you know, for that, I like YouTube, and I'm not, and as long as it allows me to share freely, you know, and not be too terribly hard about it, and you know, I mean, but yeah, it's Google. They're gonna, you know, they're not exactly benevolent. There's tongue tied there. They're not benevolent either. You know, we're still a product, but hey, if I get popular enough, I have the opportunity to potentially make, you know, monetize. But you know, at least you have the chance to do that. In Facebook, you never really have the chance to monetize. You have to pay to play, and you know, I haven't heard anybody making it rich off of Facebook, or at least, you know, becoming, you know, a brand, at least not in the sense that you would with other social media. So just some thoughts, you know, because I mean, I'm just trying to reach as many people as I can that make fans and hopefully sell some work and, you know, make home for these paintings, and that, you know, people dig what I'm doing and appreciate it. That's all. You know, I'm not out here to force you to think a certain way or push some secret agenda. or religion. All I want to do is paint. So I'm going to get off my soapbox about social media there. So that was my little diatribe. But it's really just, inexperience as an artist trying to share the work. So I like to create patterns and textures, especially when I'm doing figures like this. And I like this, and I try to been building brushes on Procreate, and that's I think what I'm going to do next is a Procreate session, because I'll probably do that. Tomorrow's Friday, and I haven't decided if I'm going to just do this 4 days a week or 5 days a week yet, because I don't want this to overtake family time, but at the same time I'm rebuilding. How do you say? I'm rebuilding my network because I'm trying not to lean on the other social networks. So I'm reaching out on YouTube and LinkedIn, and I haven't really shared the site with my email list yet. So you guys are kind of getting something that even my email list isn't really getting yet. And that's really because I don't think we're still in test mode here, beta, if you will. Actually, I'd probably call this alpha mode. It's not even beta yet. So you guys are getting to hang out with me in my alpha mode before hope before things really kind of take off. And by take off, I mean, it's just, I can get up here, I can paint, I've got my setup the way I want it, everything is good, and, I get a little bit more comfortable with my voice and chatting, and hopefully create some, little bit of a diatribe of people. So if you got any questions about what I'm using, this is my Brayer. So this is by Speedball, and this is I believe it's a 1.5 inch. I don't have the box with me, but this is the 1.5 inch sprayer, and this is that kind of thing that I like to use to, cover areas. And I call it the great equalizer, because if I don't like something, I can then wipe it out too. So I can definitely wipe it out. So I'm trying to get the paint off of my palette that's down here, or down there, and I've been putting it back up here. So trying to create some texture, some interesting stuff, and just reuse that paint, because I'm a thrifty person. I hate to waste paint, but I'm trying to be a little bit more carefree about it. I should be more carefree. I mean, it's expensive, but it's not that expensive yet. Inflation, we'll see. Get some more white up here. Drop the white. There we go. Get some gray value. Kind of part of me wants to insinuate there's some signs. I love those. Man, I wish I was I had this chance just to kind of talking about Japanese street signs and stuff. I had the chance to go walking around the streets of Nagoya at night, but it was winter and snowing, and I was not there. I didn't have any winter gear, none. I was there to go to the Philippines, and so I had nothing really but a sweatshirt and like a hoodie. That's it. That's all I had. We had to make an emergency landing in Nagoya late at night, and because we were past the curfew for flights landing, we couldn't take back off. So we had to stay overnight in Nagoya. And one of the cool things is that they put us up in the Nagoya Hilton, which is a really cool hotel, and they fed us, and we had a cool room, free, courtesy of, I can't remember, Delta, I think it was, which I don't think they do that now. So this is about 20 years ago. And basically what happened was we were leaving Detroit, and a passenger died on the plane. They were 99 years old, so they had a good life. Unfortunately, though, they passed away on the flight. They didn't make it back to the Philippines. And the problem was is that we delayed the flight so bad that we missed the curfew time to take back off to land and then take off at Nagoya. So we had to stay overnight because it was past a curfew. So, but what was cool about this is like, we're at this hotel and me and my wife are like, man, it's snowing outside. We could go walk around and we could walk around in Japan and that would be really cool. But then we realized we didn't have any kind of wear to wear anything in a winter Japan. So, or at least in Nagoya, it was cold. It was snowing. It was about 20 something degrees, and we're just we'd already been on the flight a long time, plus 8 hours and an extra 8 hours of our flight because it's a long flight, to say the least. So yeah, um, I wish we did, but I just didn't have it in me at the time. And I did have my camera, but it was my last trip shooting film, and I was kind of being stingy with my film because I didn't know if I could get more rolls of film, inexpensively. I didn't know how expensive the film was going to be. So I was kind of hoarding it because I was going to be 3 weeks in the Philippines, and I didn't want to end up shooting all my roll of film before we even got there. So, but I would love to stop into Japan and take some photos of those really cool back streets with all those signs. I don't know if they really exist, but going on Flickr and seeing a lot of those there, it's really cool. There's some there, but it's just not the way it used to be. I don't believe. So let's see about putting some texture. I don't know if I think it's just gonna be too much to put signs in there and distracting from a simple figure. And the honest truth is, I kind of want to move on at some point with this because I haven't been painting for a little bit, and so this main reason why I'm doing these lives is to hold myself accountable so that I'm painting, and I'm going out and doing some work. So I might do digital tomorrow for a little bit just to kind of like doodle and kind of share my work process a little bit. Something like that. We'll see. But I think also part of me is I've been not getting a lot of sleep lately. So part of me is like, might be good to get a little bit of sleep tonight. And so I'm not up late. And right now the time is 10:25. So yeah, my goal is we'll wrap this up, hopefully by 11. And that way I can get to bed and then be ready for tomorrow. But yeah, I'm not going to be doing the live sessions on the weekends. And so my plan is at least most nights to try to do this Monday through possibly Friday or Thursday. I'm not sure if I should just do 4 days a week at an hour. My goal was really just to do an hour, but I've been having such difficulty and I don't want to make somebody sit through all of my technical issues and then only to be on for 15 minutes after the fact I figured it out. So yeah, it's a struggle bus. So now I'm just trying to get some texture going here and some, I don't know, things that kind of make fun. All right, so I got to get a new tube of this phthalo turquoise. And I'm gonna go order it from Jerry's. May make a trip. Oh, there we go. All right. Oh, cool. So you've been doing a crab boat? Yeah, there used to be tons of crab boats around here. And one of the areas had a lot of crabbing boats, especially from the eastern shore. A lot of the eastern shore and what's it called Tangier Island fishermen had some in Virginia Beach, and they're gone. They tore the dock up, and unfortunately, they're going to put condos because, like, that's all we need now is, Virginia Beach and Norfolk needs is more condos. So, yeah, I did a lot of crabbing boats there. And this last plein air event that I went to in East Beach, it was called the Cuddy Sark. And the restaurant closed, and soon after they started putting the condos in, then the crab boats went bye-bye. And so there's one place in Lynn Haven off the Lesnar Bridge. There's a few crab boats there. They're small ones, but I've painted those, and I think I'm getting a little too textured there, so I gotta dumb it down. This is kind of where I like to have a little bit of texture, and don't overdo it. That's the trick, is not to overdo this stuff here. It's just to have fun. And there we go. So a little mixture of my palette knife, add some purple in here. I don't know if this area, if I want to keep it. I think I'm going to put in the brush a little bit and go back to mixing in here. So, yeah, my illustration teacher used to say, you can sleep when you're dead. This is way before we realized that, no sleep was bad for you. Very bad for you. Sleep deprivation. And so much so that I don't always remember events and people that I met in college. And that's really bad. I remember more people I remember more people that I knew in high school than I did in college. And that just really comes down to I wasn't sleeping. I wasn't sleeping much at all. I was really burning the midnight oil. I was taking about 20 credits, 19, 20, 21 credits a semester, and working from, I think it was like, I want to say like 6 to 12, or maybe 6 to 11, but I always stayed till 12 because I was using the computer lab. I worked in the computer lab and the video lab so I could get my homework done, because lab access and computer access was tough. I didn't have a computer, so if I wanted to get my work done, I had to make sure I had booked lab time. And if you're the lab monitor, guess what? You're guaranteed to get some lab time. Oh, thanks. I'm glad you liked some of the videos. I'm gonna try and do some more plein air ones soon. I just have not been feeling the cold. But yeah, I do want to make some more. So I'm glad you guys. I'm glad you're digging those videos. I want to put more out. And let's see here. put some more texture in here. Blah, 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 blah. Finger smudge. Fingers can do wonderful things too. Or at least latex fingers can do wonderful things. So yeah. Let's leave it at that. Latex fingers can do wonderful things. And we'll try the Brayer. Blip, 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 blip. And I think I'm going to go with a bigger brush just so I can get some interesting textures. I really like to push things at this point in juncture with my work so that I can try to just be a better painter. And I think, yeah, this is a brush that got beat up. This is a new brush that I bought, man. Yeah, it got beat up already. So, we'll do tech talk here. This is a Princeton flat number 8. And it's a decent brush. I like it. And it's fun. It's got a different texture to it. It's good for blocking in too, which is nice. Not always do you get something that allows you to block in, but this one's a good one. And it holds its shape for the most part. I can't fully endorse it because I haven't done enough. I would say haven't really put it through its paces on many paintings. So this is just still really relatively a newer brush before I've put the mileage on it. And I need to put a little bit of Alizarin Crimson. I've already used the rest off my palette. That means I can go and put a paint tube on here. Here we go. Just like that. Boom. I really think I'm about going to painting this white, because usually I don't tone my canvas. I just got lazy and I just threw it up there. But yeah, I don't normally tone my canvas and I go straight to white. It's just, I used to tone my canvas when I first started out, and it was really great because it helped me see things that, or at least find my midtones faster than before. So yeah, some fun little textures here. All right, just try to vary it up. And that's the thing about painting, is just finding, random strokes. So at least try to find, break things up. When I first was starting, I would just have like a, how would you say, a smooth background, and it just never really wasn't happy with those. And then I didn't understand breaking things up with patterns as good. I still don't feel like I know it as good. So if you think I know what I'm talking about, I don't necessarily believe that I do. But I'm having fun. So let's see about here. Yeah, kind of like that. So this is just like making stuff up, just finding fun little patterns to. The idea is that maybe there's a background there, maybe there's not. I think I'm still trying to evolve this particular pattern style for what I want. But not sure yet. Yeah, I'm not digging that one. That's what I love about the Brayer here, is just blip, 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 knock things back. Yeah, there we go. Sometimes I take the edge here. See right there, the edge, and I just got scrape. So like kind of like this. See, like that. Probably not so sloppy, but yeah, I'll try that again. Let's see if I can. And let's use the finger and break some of that up. Yeah, that's kind of cool. I'll try that again here. Yeah. Cool. I want to possibly figure out maybe adding a little bit here. Just to kind of make up some kind of imaginary background that just kind of gets somebody to think there's a scene here waiting to unfold. Yeah, right there, that might. I don't want to spell it out too much because then I lose too much. There, just enough. I guess I could put some color in there, but I don't know. I definitely want this to feel like some kind of urban environment. And I'm not sure here. Let's see here. Can I tighten that up a little bit? Maybe put a little dot right there. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see that, but that's a little, just kind of a little, you know, once again, in some texture here. I feel like, I know this seems like very frilly stuff, but yeah. I'm just kind of just want to, I don't want to, no, I definitely don't want to put something there. I hate, if I had a little bit more reference, I probably could get something, but I'm going to step back. I forget. Luckily, it's not so cold. I don't need the heater, so I'm going to move my heater out of the way so I can really practice what I preach about stepping back and taking it in and saying, okay, where can I add some fun elements? And I think I can probably get a little bit, I don't know, I'm going to, okay, yeah, I want something dark here. Let's go and so maybe blend that in, maybe. I'll step back. Yeah. And then balance it out with something over here. Yeah. And I'm just, I'm just having fun. I'm not really trying to make any kind of statement with this. I think that's, it's more of an observation with just a fun background. It's just it. There's nothing else to say about it, really. Let's see if I can tighten this up here. Okay, I'll do like that. I don't want to put any other color in here. Just, at least I don't think I'm in the frame of mind to do that right now. So it's kind of like knowing what I'm capable of tonight and what I'm not, and just, rolling with it. So, and where are we at? We are at 54 minutes. So, and I've been farting around for about 15 minutes trying to get it up and running. Are you in that? Okay, see, you're freezing in high winds, yeah. And you're in Western Virginia, so it's probably coming for us. The ground's too warm, I think, for the snow to stick like we've gotten in the past 2 weeks where we got snow. I could be wrong. I mean, we could get a deep chill, and in a few hours, you could just get a permanent, just a layer of ice. If it gets that cold and it gets a layer of ice, then it might work. But I don't know about us getting snow. But I could be wrong, as I've known been wrong before. All right, so we talked about yesterday that I love hoops. I love hoops. I love that geometric shape that kind of contrasts the face. And so I'm going to try to find a brush that I haven't mutilated yet. And this is going to be the tricky part because I don't have anything really to go by. But I'm going to try to do a hoop here. And I'm also going to go and jump. I'm going to jump over here to where I had my other foot. I'm going to try to see if I can get a hoop in here. Try to. Keyword. Oh, and this is the cheap brush here. So this is the brush probably not to get. These are the throwaway brushes. This is the Soho, and by Jerry Jardarama, I believe, Urban Artist. And you can see the ferrule's already bent. Yeah, the ferrule's already bent. Look at that. Cheapo. But I'm pretty hard on my brushes, so, sometimes I just don't want to spend the loot to get that. Now, I did spend a little bit of money on this one, so I might try this one. This one is the Utrecht. So this is Utrecht, and it's a mix synthetic. So let me just get some paint on there and see if I get a nice little tip. Nice, or is it gonna be frayed? I don't think I'm. Yeah, let's look at this here. Yeah, this one's not gonna help me. And oh, I've got one here. A brush here that's really small. Ooh, yeah, there we go. Look at that. So we go between. Let me hold these up here. And let me not lose that. So these are the brushes that I like to save for last for the detail. So I told you about El Cheapo brush, and we have the Utrecht, and then this other one is from Princeton. It's a number 0, and I believe it's a synthetic one. It's not a mongoose one, but it's synthetic. And so I'm gonna try to get the earrings in here. So I'm gonna try. I think I'm gonna try with the small brush first because I'm not sure. We'll see. I'm gonna try with the small one first because this is kind of what I got it for. It was like this detail that I can't seem to, and I spent some loot on this one. I don't remember what it cost me, but it was definitely more than the cheapo brush. So, all right, we're gonna do the bottom part of the loop first. And then top part of the loop. There, and then we're going to start slowly build the highlight, that little shimmer. And this is the tricky part. A little bit more titanium white. And so this is going to be the tricky part here. I want to pay attention. So the light's coming down this way. So it's just catching this top part. At least that's what I'm trying to imagine. When I paint stuff that isn't there, I try to imagine where is that light source coming from so I can be conscious of it. So we've got to put a little bit here. Yeah, let me see how that looks. Because you don't want to. I want the earring to disappear so you don't really notice it. It's not. I mean, you notice it, but it's not dominant. It's not spelled out for you. It's like, oh yeah, there. Now I'm not talking when I do this because I'm actually breathing out very slowly. I almost or hold my breath because I don't want to. How would you say? I don't want to just cavalier, but be cavalier about it. I want to make sure that I get this right. Now I might try to also adjust the lips a little bit. Put a little bit of detail in there. Not too much. Just a little bit. And I'm looking and I think that I don't want to spell too much. Just a little bit of a definition there. You know. And I want a little bit on the, I want a little bit of definition on those eyebrows that I wasn't getting before. I'm hoping I don't ruin it. I'm already getting the feeling I'm going to ruin this, so I'm going to try and mix it in a little bit so it's not so heavy. That's the one thing people say, well, they have black hair. Let's go ahead and just put black. No, that's what not to do. Believe it or not, you're going to see some gray value or some, it's rarely that you ever really see black, or at least parts here that might be black, but you can see here reflections and highlights, and it's really haven't done that much, but okay, can you go a little bit darker? Yeah, I'm okay with that. I want to do the same thing over here. Okay, I'm going to step back and take a look. Stepping back will also let you know, did I get it too dark? Is it too light? Because sometimes you're too close up and you can't really see if it, is disappearing the way you want it to. You just don't know. So you got to step back just to see how, the local colors work. So, and I want to say, this is where you can finesse the eyes a little bit that I was not happy with before. On the nose if I need to. Because I feel like I was like, oh, I could have gotten the nose better. But we shall see. Okay. We shall see. So here's where you do the finessing. I try not to do this at the beginning. I try to, hold off and at least kind of get the general and save those finesse strokes for later. At least that's the hope. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you just aren't able to put things together. Okay. I think I'm going to give her. I talked about this yesterday. I thought I was going to talk about giving her some red nails. And I think I'm kind of in line with that. Possibly. Because my digital one I did. Oh, hey, Mojave, thank you. Um, Dermove. Okay. I don't know what Vom.red is. Can you please translate that or say hi? I think that's a bot. If you're not a bot, could you just like say hi or yeah, something. Thanks, Dean. I appreciate it, and Mojave. I appreciate the background. Yeah, I always try to save those backgrounds and insinuate it when I've got a detailed figure. I don't want to spell things out. So I appreciate it. I've got a little, I see something I can do here is just fade that out there. There. It was bugging me. All right. Let's see here. So I always try to, I wanted to do nails. I'm wondering, I don't know, I like that red, and I'm afraid if I put that dark red on there, it's just going to take away. I think I'm going to leave it. I think I'm not going to do red nails. I just, something about it. And this one that I did red nails in the digital one that is, I'm not feeling. I feel like this is not the time to do it. So, um, we're gonna skip that. But I want to do. Da, 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 we're gonna do. She's gonna be a little gothic. So we're gonna say, gothic. So we'll do a little cross. And there. She's gonna have a little cross, and we're gonna have, this is where I'm gonna use my palette knife to have that necklace. See if we can do a little bit of, I don't want to go black. So, but I don't want to do blue. I'm gonna try and get some brown in here and mix. And a little bit of yellow ochre to tone it down and throw some white in here. There, let's see here. Sometimes you just have to go with this and try it out. Okay, let's see here. All right. Well, I'm glad you guys are liking the light on here. I was worried that it'd be dark, but I'm hoping you guys are digging it. So we're gonna Hail Mary here. We're gonna try it. All right, This is the palette knife. All right. Not enough paint on there. There. Maybe a little bit darker. Breathe out. There. And let's see here. I'm going to dumb down the lines. One of the things that I learned in a workshop is not to have the necklace all the same or, vary it up. So this one I'm going to actually do lighter and pray that I can get, I could go here. That might be the best thing to do. A little trail. There. But alas, my friends, the line is wrong. I couldn't curve it enough. No! It means corrections. So let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, let's correct that. Go mix again. A little bit of yellow. More titanium white. More red, alizarin crimson. More white. More white. There we go. I think, let's just see if I can scrape this out. Yeah. All right. And then I'm going to just need to do a different brush to get that in there. Let's. Nope. Trying to find the right brush to do this touch up. Sometimes I get an older brush that's kind of messed up just to kind of work in mistakes a little bit. Too yellow. Now I've got too much yellow. Let's get some red in there. There we go. More white. More red. There we go. Let's try this. All right. Whew. That was a lesson. All right, let's try this again. So I want to get here, but I want to come at an angle to let that necklace, rest. So I'm going to try and get that curve and meet right there. There we go. That was it. Gee, so hard. Yeah, I'm going to step back and see how I feel about that. Let's take a look. Yeah, it reads fine here. Okay. And I want to do a little bit of detail for the jacket here on a zipper. So the zipper I want to have right at the bottom. There, at least a little bit of highlight there. I need more. I don't want to make it too distracting, but I feel like if I can just... It'll work for now. Sometimes you don't want to overdo things, but yeah. All right, so I've got this little fray here that I just is not... Tuck it in a little bit there. And I need to go a little bit darker red underneath this arm, this hand here, just. Not too much, but just. This brush is the wrong brush to be doing that detail with. I really need some kind of nasty brush that's a little frayed, because then it'll help out. And let's try this here. There, I feel like that's a little bit better. So we're 73 minutes in, and I think we're nearing the end on this. So I'm going to try something that I wasn't sure that would work or not, but I think we are close. Let me make sure. Oh, I wanted to do the hoops on the belt, so I'm going to do the hoops on the belt. If you guys are wondering what I'm talking about, it's going to be like kind of like a rock star kind of thing. So this is going to take some... We're going to get one hoop in here and try to find the line. Like if this leg is forward, then the hoop's going to be raised here and go down. So let's go ahead and make our first hoop. There. We're going to do the next one a little bit lower. And I don't think these necessarily have to connect. So if they connect, it's going to be too close. I'm going to put some space. A little bit off, but There. And then another one. And then have that disappear. Let me step back and see how that reads. I might actually be okay with that. And then I just gotta see where I can put maybe a little bit of highlights on the lips. And so light comes down and catches here. I've overdone it. See if I can reclaim that shape back. Yeah, I was able to reclaim the shape back, but man, I just didn't get that highlight that I wanted. Let's try it again. All right. Probably too much white, but let's see. I might get lucky. Okay, I need to dumb down this one just a tad. There. Okay, I'm kind of happy with that. Sometimes you don't want to spell things out too much. All right. So we got necklace, we've got cross, we've got, I think it would be, I did in my digital one put a belly button ring. We could try that. Sure, why not? Let's go and put a belly button ring right here. And there. Let me step back. Yeah, you don't want to overspawn. You might, it's just going to need a little bit of a shadow though. So we know where a light is. So I'm going to have to go and put. There. I could probably dumb it down a little bit, but part of me doesn't want to do that. I don't know. I could always dumb that down later if I want. All right. Let's go ahead and do this here. Get a little bit more brighter on the tip of the finger. That's where I can go and add a little bit more highlights to where that thumb was. Here. Yeah. So this is what I kind of try to tell my kids, my students, is that, you know, don't go into the details yet if you can avoid it. Try to wait, savor that later. And it's kind of like how would you say? I kind of say like, you know, when you build a sundae, you know, you don't put the sprinkles on first. You go and you put the bananas, then you put the 3 scoops of ice cream, and then you start to put, you know, the what do you put, like the pineapples and the strawberries, and then from there you put the whipped cream and then the sprinkles. That's when you put the sprinkles, and then you can put the cherry and the drizzle, the chocolate on top, and that's your sundae basically. But you don't start putting with the sprinkles yet. At least that's what I try not to do. So I'm gonna try and I want to add a prop just to kind of maybe help set this off. I don't know if this is going to work. We'll see. I don't know if I have the right brush for this or not. Maybe not. Sometimes I do this with a palette knife, sometimes I don't, and I'm not sure I have what I'm looking for out of this. Let's see here. All right, let me go see if you guys have any comments. And I keep getting this guard your privacy, so I guess it's listening in. So on my things, don't tell stuff about you. Yes, I will not be handing out my debit card and PIN number. All right, let's see here. Okay. I'm gonna have to rely on another brush. It's not not the right color. See if we get the cigarette here to pop and look like one. You know. It's hard because it's cylindrical, but it's so small that you're probably not going to get really much of the shadow on there. So I hate to go pure white with this because that's my hot point right there. I don't want to go beyond that. Otherwise, it's going to be distracting. Okay. Let's see if I can sharpen it with a palette knife with a reverse color. So that might be... This is going to be tricky. Because I just want a sharp edge. If I can get a sharp edge, then I'll be happy. All right. I don't know what happened there. It's like, all right. What app am I in? Okay. So, I'm just nearing the end here of where I want to go with this. We're 83 minutes in, and it's 11:09. Well past what I wanted. All right, so I'm going to try to add... I didn't ask for notes. All right. So this is where I need to go to orange, and I don't have an orange, so I'll put a little bit of orange right there. I could mix it, I guess, but there's something about cad and orange that you just get that you can't get any, you can't really mix to get it to pop. So that's always tough. If I can get cad orange right here. Just enough. Oh, let's see here. Mojave's got a comment here and it just went away, so give me a second here. I used to think YouTube palettes next to the painting was odd, but I use it now because the light is the same and I get the same color in the painting. Yeah, I I don't normally do it. I usually have my palette at the bottom, but that's because I'm painting outdoors and carrying this big hunk of wood on there is kind of a little bit of an issue because you wind as well. So I'm not opposed to it, and I've seen people do it. So yeah, but yeah, having that palette does help. I think next time I may just paint this white though. I'm worried about the glare coming back in here, so I may just try it, may put a piece of paper behind it. So I want a little bit more orange right there, just a little bit more. But you know what? I'm almost tempted to do the palette knife to allow me to get a nice sharp edge, but not. This is tricky here because then if I overdo it, then it just looks like crap. I'm not quite there yet. Load some paint up there. Here we go. It's not quite enough. It's there. Just want it to be a little bit, because it's like fire. You know, it's a. There, that's all I need right there. I think that's it. And so, let's see where we are right now. I think I can try to emulate a little bit of smoke trailing. We'll try to do that and see. There's a little bit here, and I like that, so I'm just going to try and emulate. I think you have to be careful about how much you put in because if you there's something about it, you know, when you're doing fire and stuff like that, if it doesn't look right, it comes across as disingenuous. I think that's it right there. All right. So yeah, I think we're gonna call it quits because I really want to go to bed. I'm tired, but I think this is it. So I'm going to sign my name, I guess, on this. So you guys will get to see my signature. I try not to make my signature too obnoxious. I usually try to keep it within the same hue as the other, what the background is, but just a little bit darker. Not too much. So I don't want to be distracting, but I don't want to be at, how do you say, over the head. I used to would put it in red, but that's definitely what I don't want to do now. So I just wanted to kind of blend in. Let's go ahead and put it right here because I have to keep in mind was like when you're going to do, you want to make sure that you're not in this area here because it's going to get cut off by a frame, especially a pop-in frame. So you want to be careful about that. All right, I'll see. I'm just going to make a little mark. And sometimes I put it over here, but for the most part, I always seem to put it here, no matter what. Okay, I'm happy with that. And there's enough thin paint. If this was thick, I would wait for it to dry before I put my signature in. It's a little bloppy down here. I don't like that. So yeah, I take pains to even work on my signature a little bit. I know it seems crazy, but I do. I don't like to. It's too heavy down there. Let's see if I can fix that. Step back. Nope, not happy with it. And sometimes I end up wiping away the whole damn signature and starting over. So let's see if I can. I'm so picky on my signature. At least I know some people are like just blop blop blop, and I'm like, no, I want it to feel like it's a piece of the work. All right. Okay, and then go ahead and put the O and the U. There you go. So if you're wondering what this is, I know you can barely see it, but it is dug vertically. And I do it in a way that's almost discernible. I mean, it's like hard to read, but you know, it's I like it. Oops, now I've over corrected. So not happy with it. I tell you, I fuss over my signature just because I know I can get it better. I know some people are like, dude, it's done. Just sign it and be done with it. But it's not. It's not how I feel about it. So, all right. So there we go. 93 minutes and into this, and I think I might do some revisions. So I won't call this like completely done. So I'll let it stew for a day or two and see if there's anything else. I'm going to put a little bit of highlight on that earring though, right here, right there. There, just a little bit of, yeah. And that's it. Everything else makes sense for me. Because if I put a little bit of white on here, see if I can get just a little bit more. Yeah, there we go. I think that's it. So yeah, there we go. All right, everyone. I really appreciate you hanging out with me tonight. And tomorrow I'm going to be doing a digital painting. I haven't figured out what subject I'm going to do yet. I'm just going to stew on that, and I'll try and have something planned. I'm going to try and go to one of the, what's it called? Find something where they've kind of posted it up for, how would you say, free paint, if you will. Like, hey, there's my portrait, go paint it kind of thing, and whatnot, and kind of show the photo along with my digital painting process, so you can kind of see how my brain works and how I like to approach painting. My digital paintings have really informed how I do my traditional paintings, believe it or not. There's when I started painting, doing a lot of digital painting demos in my previous job, and I really, how would you say, kind of just started doodling and thanks, Dean. I appreciate you hanging out with me. And so see you again soon, hopefully. But yeah, just real quick. Yeah, my digital painting and my oil painting in some ways are similar, and one informs the other. So hopefully I'll share that tomorrow and do digital. So thanks again. I'm just cleaning my brushes here. Yeah, don't forget to clean your brushes at the end of the session, because what happens is that you end up with nasty brushes, and your brushes will hate you, and your pocket will hate you. I mean, your wallet will hate you, and your wallet will cry, especially when you have a nice brush that you've spent a lot of money on and it's all gunked up. And even my brayer I clean off. So there we go. And it's nice because I wasn't freezing in my studio today because it wasn't that cold. But from what I'm hearing from Tattoo Tank, I'm going to be getting some cold weather soon this weekend. But that's okay. I won't be painting here, doing live. So I'm going to try and do a quick session tomorrow digitally. So I appreciate you hanging in with me, and it's been great hanging out with you guys and allowing me to paint and share my process. And I'll flip the camera here just to give you guys a shout out. Thanks again for Dean, for Mojave, for Tattoo Tank, and um, I'll call you Vom Red because I don't know what that means. I appreciate you hanging out, and yeah, and J90 at the beginning. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I will see you guys later. Happy painting. And if I know how to turn this off, because this is the first time I don't know how to turn this off. Oh my gosh. Isn't this hilarious? I can't even turn this off. All right. There we go. Save highlights, share, no cancel. This is, no, it's still, oh boy. There we go. I'm gonna flip that around. The X. Okay, there we go. I just hit the X. All right, guys, have a great night.